Yo, this is K Cut from Main Source, chilling with Breaking Records Radio with Maloney on site. You know how we do.
Breaking fucking Records Radio.
Breaking Records Radio and the place to be. You know what it is? It's your man Maloney, as always. And we got a very special guest. We got Main Source in the house right now, and we got the legendary K Cut in the place.
No doubt, no doubt.
And so, first off, 1991's Breaking Adams.
Yes, sir.
Is now 15 years old. And
Actually, 25.
25?
Yeah, 25.
Oh
25.
shit, I missed 10 years on there, right? Oh,
it's all good, it's all good. We're doing
so it's 25.
Yeah.
And in 8 days, it's gonna be 26 years old.
Bang. There you go.
There you go. Alright, yeah, I was off 10 years, but there we go. But, crazy, right?
Yo, Maloney, dude, your vibe already, man. I love you, man.
But did you ever foresee that you guys would still be touring, doing shows that long after you guys made that record?
When we made the record, it was just something like we were three kids, like wanting to be like our peers back then, like Run DMC, you know, and all them other cats, you know what I mean? So we just wanted to make a record that was, you know, a part of history, and we didn't know it was going to be a part of history. You know what I mean? It just so happens that, you know,
it made history.
It made history, you know what I mean? So that was something that, you know, wasn't anticipated, wasn't, you know, we weren't trying to make hits, we were just trying to be kids from, you know, the streets of New York, just doing what we do and what we love, you know what I mean? So that's how that album came about.
And you, K Cut, are you a Toronto native?
I was born in Toronto and I grew up in New York City. I went to like public school and did all my schooling in New York, and basically the situation with that was, you know, when I made money I just came back, you know?
Okay.
So that's you know, the whole, yeah, he's Canadian, which I am, you know what I mean, but I'm also a New Yorker.
You're a New Yorker in the heart, yeah.
But now I'm a Canadian because I've been out here for the last, you know, up teen years, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So I got the best of both worlds.
Well, you do, because I tell her all the time. Toronto is my favorite city on the planet.
For sure.
Manhattan is my second. And the thing is, with Manhattan, is too crowded.
Right.
It's better than Toronto. It's too crowded. It's too hard. It's too you know what I mean?
I mean, for me, I grew up in New York, so like you get used to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the hustle and the bustle and, you know, just everything about it, man. It's just New York. That's what makes New York. You know what I mean?
It is.
It's just, you gotta love the city.
And the Toronto you would have been born in is different than Toronto today too, right? Because all of this, everything you see has happened in the last 30 years.
Toronto,
or less.
Toronto has grown, man. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
From time when I moved back to now, it's just like it's a different place altogether. You know what I mean? So it's like this is our city right now. We're like you know, we have a wave right now, and it's just like so crazy. You know what I mean? So
and it's a crazy thing that New York is named after Toronto, because Toronto was the original York.
Right.
So that's the craziest part, right? When a lot of people do their history, it's like what? People don't even believe that. But one thing I want to touch on is the fact that when you guys came out, because the Source was the Bible of hip hop when you guys came out. You guys got 4.5 mics. And then when they did their 150th issue, they gave you guys 5 mics.
Wow, that's crazy. That's dope. I didn't even know that, man.
Really?
No, I didn't even know that, man. That's crazy. I knew when we dropped the record, we got the 4 mics. You know what I mean? And I didn't even know about the 5 mic thing.
Say word, eh? Yeah, no, they did a they did like a reevaluation on albums when they did their 150th issue, and reevaluated albums, and they gave you guys 5.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's love, man.
So you guys got a 5 mic in the Source. It might not have been at the time, but 4.5 is pretty much 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that.
I mean, 4.5 is dope. You know what I mean?
That's
Source, like, you know what I mean? So
in those times, right?
If you got a 4.5, you're good.
That is fucking. But so another thing I want to touch on is the fact that when you guys performed night, obviously you played the joint live at the barbecue. You guys pretty much discovered Nas. Like you put him on his first published song of all time, live at the barbecue. So what, like, how did that happen? Like, how did the whole finding Nas thing happen?
That's all to do with Large Pro, man. Like when we were working on the record, like he brought him by. He was a little kid, and he was like, yo, I gotta put this dude on, and we had this last song on the album that we had to do, and it just
that was the last song of the album.
Last song of the album that we had to do, because the label was like, yo, y'all need another song. So we're like, come on, man. We were in the studio for like months just trying to knock out this album, and he was like, Stu Fire was like, y'all need another song. So we're like, all right, cool. So we just brought in Nas, we brought in Akinelli, we brought in Joe Fatal, and that was the last song. Looped up in the studio and everything, like same day.
That's
same day,
crazy.
knocked the whole song out, man. So yeah.
And so did Nas write that shit right there, or was that like pre-prepared?
He wrote the shit right there, and then I think we went back in and revamped it, like did little changes in it, and after that was the song on the album.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. So that was Nas's introduction to the world.
And was that Akinelli's introduction as well?
Pretty much, yeah. That was all of them. Akinelli, Joe Fatal,
She loves
Nas.
put it in your mouth.
Oh, wow.
Put it in your mouth.
Yeah, I just put it on blast like that.
I think everybody likes put it in their mouth.
I just put you on blast like that. Sorry, baby.
Yeah, I do.
On blast, yeah.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
man. And another thing with the whole Nas thing too is you carried on tradition after Large Pro left the group.
Yeah.
You guys did the What the Fuck album, right? Or
Fuck What You Think.
Fuck What You Think.
Yeah,
My apologies.
yeah.
What the fuck? Hey, fuck's in the title.
Same shit, man. Same shit. Fuck What You Think.
Well, to put fuck in the title of an album in '94, you guys are crazy to begin with. But
And the reason for that was just like, the whole controversy, with Main Source, and people thought like, we weren't producers and we had no, say in the album with Breaking Atoms, and we were just like,
people thought it was a Large Pro thing.
yeah, you know what I mean, and it was a Main Source thing. Like when we started, we all started together. We put the whole album together. You know what I mean? And that's what made Main Source, and that's what made like that album, Breaking Atoms.
Looking at the front door and
magic. That was
faking
the magic.
funk. And
Yeah, that was the magic. So it was the thing because Large Professor was, he was producing. So obviously he's the MC, and he's also producing bigger records. You know what I mean, for Coogee and Eric and Ra and all these other cats. So people obviously think like, he's the guy. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a fuck what you think, Large Professor. It was like, fuck what anybody thinks. You know what I'm saying? Like we are producers as well. So if you don't believe us, fuck what you think. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. So that was the reason for that title. You know what I mean?
that's dope. And the thing I like too is that, well, I bet you guys didn't even realize that at the time, but you guys really carried on tradition with that because you guys introduced Nasty Nas to the world. Nasty Nas to the area, caused mass hysteria.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you guys introduced the Dog Pack at that time, who ended up becoming, well,
They were
Sheik and Jadakiss, who ended up becoming two-thirds of the LOX.
Yeah. So it was.
And Set It Off, I'm not gonna lie to you, is my favorite Main Source. Sorry, Large Pro, but good thing he's not here actually. Because I'm sorry, but Set It Off is my favorite Main Source joint
Thank you, man.
of all time.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I mean, back then, like they were called the Warlocks.
Oh shit, they still went by that.
Yeah, they were called the Warlocks.
Okay, cool. So was Style fucking with them at that time?
Yeah. He was with them.
But he
at that
just
time.
didn't.
He didn't come to the studio to drop his verse, so we just did Sheik and Jadakiss. You know what I mean? So again, like it was like kids that we thought were dope. That we were just like, yo, just come in. We're gonna do this like second, posse cut. You know what I mean? And
I say what?
yeah.
When I flash the tech, in his back with 2 slugs. Yo, Jada on that is wild.
I know. Jada's a beast, man. He's a
Do you know what's
beast,
funny? When I first found that joint, I found it as a Main Source joint, no features, nothing. I listened to it and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's Jadakiss.
Yeah.
But Sheik, hottest verse I've ever heard him spit is on that song.
Yeah. Dope.
That
Dope. Thank you.
that goes wild.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And so another thing about Set It Off I wanted to ask you about is how did you feel about the Roots coming out with Clones 2 years after?
I thought Clones was dope, man.
Because
I love
they
the Roots,
reflipped your Quincy Jones sample.
Yeah, but I mean, like, again.
Did they ever reach out to you on that?
No. It's a thing of like, you know, like when we did our album, you know, like Tribe had the same loop as Front Door on Footprints, right?
Yeah.
Footprints, and we did
But you guys always kind of worked with Tribe.
Yeah, it was always a vibe like between you know us and stuff. You know what I mean? Like we would go break shopping with them, and you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's just always a vibe. But it's a thing of like, you know what I mean? Like if you're gonna use it, just use it. Like I'm not, you know, if y'all use it dope, then it's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like, oh, yo, they use the same shit, yo, fucking dudes. You know what I mean? I love the Roots. You know what I mean? So the fact that they use it, to me, is like, yo, that's an honor. You know what I mean? So I'm thankful. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And another funny thing about you actually saying that about Tribe is I don't know if you guys are familiar with the dude Mike Boogie from Oshawa, Toronto.
Mike Boogie. Why does his name sound so familiar?
It probably does, but one thing he informed me of the first time I ever interviewed him, one line he told me about was the K-Force Main Source LP on the Rise.
Yeah.
And that's a reference to you, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. The remix.
The Scenario remix.
Yeah, Scenario remix.
And the Scenario remix, don't get me wrong, Scenario's hot,
Yeah.
but the remix is hotter.
Yeah, the remix is pretty dope. I mean, like, the
Dude, Joe Budden's Pump It Up came from that.
Yeah.
It's that same sample, right?
It's true. Yeah. The Cool and Gang joint. The thing about it was like, for us, it was just like back then, like we were always touring together, like whether it's Tribe or, you know, us and De La or us and Tribe or us and Brand Nubians. So we just, like, because we're all friends, it was just a thing of like, yo, let's, you know, we're going back in the studio to do this remix, you know, we're gonna say what's up to our peoples, Busta Rhymes and, you know, Leaders, and, you know, when they did the remix, it was the same thing, like vice versa, like, yo, we're going to the studio to do the remix, we gotta shout out Main Source, you know what I mean? Because that's the way we did, you know, back then, you know what I mean? We just, you know, hype each other up, man. It was like a click thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was all love, man.
Because that was one thing when I interviewed him, because that's one thing about me is I always like, we interviewed Wes earlier when I caught him at the show. I was like, yo, Wes, because you're one of my favorite MCs all the time. And it's funny because when I interviewed him, I was like, one thing I think about Toronto hip-hop history is it's so thick, but it's not documented enough.
I would agree with you in a sense where, you know what I mean, like, you know,
people
New
look
York,
at the Bronx, you look at Brooklyn, you look at, you know, but like Toronto,
it's not documented right, like how New York and
Exactly.
LA, that kind of shit. I got you. I know exactly what you're saying, and I think like what you're doing is pretty dope. And in terms of like, yo, let's just put this down. Let's get everybody that was a part of something, you know, and is a part of, you know, building, you know, the city, you know, down, and let's document it because people need to know. The younger kids need to know. You know what I'm saying? Because
everybody.
There's not a lot of people that know who Maestro is. You know what I mean? Or might not know who Main Source is, or might not know who Dream Warriors is. You know what I'm saying? So it is definitely important to have like a history, you know, and do like a history lesson kind of thing. Because that's what I do when I DJ. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I play a lot of the new shit, Migos and all of that dumb shit. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like real talk. Like I play that shit. You know what I'm saying?
It is dumb shit, but you can bang to it, right?
But, yeah.
Or you wouldn't play it.
Yeah, I play it, bro. Like that's the shit. Like to me, like I love a lot of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming out of the 90s. But,
I respect
you know
that. I
like,
respect that huge.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's a thing of like,
we named our cats Bad and Bougie.
hey, you know what I mean? So it's a thing of like, you gotta know your past, you know, to know your future. Kind of,
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
and a lot of times, unfortunately, people who are manifesting your future don't know their past,
right?
Which is the issue,
right?
But when you guys come from that history, you know your past,
right?
You know what I mean?
And honestly, like for him coming out on stage and doing a song that we
And that
did,
was so dope.
that was, I thought it was dope too. Like that was last minute though, a last minute thing where he was like, yo, I'm here. Like he called me and he was like, yo, I'm gonna come through. And I was like, all right, cool. So he came through and he's like, yo, what are we gonna do? All right, wanna do conducting things? All right, let's do it. So that was a last minute thing, but we had to do it. You know what I mean? But at the same time too, like getting back to like, you know, the history. If you go to New York or whatever, you know, you got like 16-year-old kids that are singing like Rapper's Delight and fucking, you know, Love Is the Message and all of these fucking songs, you know what I mean? Like Grandmaster Flash and all of that shit. And that's the history, like that's embedded in you. You know what I'm saying? So, like what you're saying is that, you know, if you're playing a Maestro Fresh West song, motherfuckers should know that shit. You know what I mean? Be singing all the words. Just like how these motherfuckers in New York can be singing Grandmaster Flash and all of that shit. You know what I mean? They should
And that's the way I feel.
And I got you. I know what you're saying.
And that's exactly what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I was trying to say. To me, Maestro Fresh West, I feel like is his Built to Last album is one of the best top 10. Yes, 100%. But Maestro Fresh West is Built to Last, top 10 best hip hop albums of all time, in my opinion. Another thing I wanted to touch on is the fact that when you guys debuted Nas, you guys did the Live from the Barbecue.
Love of the Barbecue.
But then Third Base came out with Back to the Grill Again with Nas before he dropped his debut record. So what is the connection with you guys in Third Base? Or was that just like a biting thing?
No, I think Large could talk about that because, you know, at that time I think that's when we were going through our issues in terms of.
That's before the breakup?
Yeah, that was like during that time and stuff. So like he would know more about that situation and that hookup with you know.
So Back to the Grill Again was an authentic kind of reprint of the Live at the Barbecue.
You know what? Like I said, that's something that Large can tell you, man, because you know I wasn't around at the time when they were doing that record. You know what I mean? So I don't even know. You know what I mean? It was a thing where. I guess they were trying to put together that record, and that was the thing for them to do.
Because they had the dude Hot Lover on there, right? Who was also on Red Hot Lover.
And that's one of the track masters, man.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
He's one of the track masters?
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Yes, bro. Yeah, that was Red Hot Lover Tone. That was one of the track masters, Tone and Pope.
He was an artist first.
Yep.
Red Hot Lover is Tone?
Yep.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
Don't drop jewels on me like this in an interview, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God. Red Hot Lover Tone is Tone.
That's one of the track masters, bro. Yep.
Oh my God!
Those dudes that did all the joints, they were bad boy hitmen, man. They were the dudes that would pump it out all of them.
Well, I know who the track masters are. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, man. Those are.
I think the track masters don't get the respect they deserve as producers in hip hop history,
right?
Because they were so fucking dope.
Yeah.
But Red Hot Lover Tone.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Like from fucking. From Louis Rankin's fucking.
Back to the Grill Again. All of that shit. Yeah, man.
Well, so the Third Base thing, that would have to be talked to by Large Bro. Hopefully we get the chance to talk to Large about that.
Yeah.
But so I got a few questions here, which obviously would relate more to Large because he was the lyricist at that point. But you guys were on Wild Pitch Records.
Yes.
So what is your relationship like with Guru and Primo? Because when they dropped their first record, they were Wild Pitch.
Yeah. Well,
actually, Guru, before Primo joined, they were Wild Pitch. Prior.
Primo would give you the history on that, but those are like our brothers, man. Like when we first did like one of our videos and shit, Why Try to Do His Thing, they came out and supported, and they were actually in the video. You know what I mean? But at the end, like we had Guru in the front, like introducing the record, and then at the end of the video, it was Eric B from Eric B and Rakim, Guru. You know what I'm saying? They're with us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, those are our brothers, man, for real.
That's crazy.
Day one, man.
And you know what? And no disrespect to Large Pro either, because I have so many questions to ask Large Pro. Unfortunately, he's in the area and can't be here. So it actually enables me to ask you more of what I wanted to ask you, which is great. So after Large Pro left, Well, first off, I was gonna ask you about the breakup, but without all you guys present, I don't feel kosher asking you about that because I don't want you to talk a certain way about it.
No. You know what, man? With the breakup, man, it was just a thing of like miscommunication and us not really like, you know, on that same page. You know what I'm saying? And that's you know, also having family involved with your business, it's not good. You know what I mean? My mom was our manager. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was a lot of, you know, things where, you know, it was like
People felt salty about it.
yeah, it was a lot of, you know, the business wasn't really right. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell you that because, you know, even with me, like, there's certain things that were right, and I found out years later. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a thing of like, you know what I mean? Things have to happen. You know what I mean? To come around again. To
Come
right.
full circle,
You know what
for
I'm
you
saying?
to realize that.
Yeah, so I mean, me and Lars, like, we were always fucking cool. You know what I'm saying? But it just had to be where, you know, he had to dip out and do what he had to do. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he even dropped those bars in the Midnight Marauders album about.
Yeah, because I mean, it was a time where
At that time, there was
yeah,
some sort
it
of
was
turmoil.
heated. It was heated. You know what I'm saying? So,
But it was
I
never
mean,
really an issue.
No, we never had an issue, man, at all. And then we came together like in, I think it was like in 05. We just said, yo, let's do a show. We did a show out here, our first show in like years.
Real?
Yeah,
It was in T-Dot?
Yeah, we did it at the
T-Dot!
Opera House. We did it at the Opera House. Man. So,
Oh, shit.
yeah, so, you know, like I said, we never had an issue. It was just, you know what I mean? Like, it's a time and place, and right now it's a time for us to be back and do what we gotta do, and just basically spread the message. You know what I mean? That, you know what I mean? This is all about hip hop. This is what we were here to do. This is what we started. And, you know what I mean? This is what we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're here now. You know what I'm saying?
And another thing that, because I know that you took on the full production when you got into Fuck With Your Fate, right? And it is like beyond inspirational to me. Actually, I was telling my girl this earlier, but my last mixtape I put out, I rapped on Madonna's Human Nature beat. And you know why I rapped on it? Because after I did research and read into certain things, I realized she sampled your guys' song for HDI. She sampled the bass line.
Yeah, they took the whole record. Like,
Well, pretty much.
Yeah,
The synths were at it.
Yeah, her and Dave, I think it was Dave.
I know, I looked
Dave
up the
Ball.
producers. Dave Hall, I think it
like,
was.
He was like, yo, we want to use the record, man. Madonna really likes the record. So, you know, we're going to split, like, the credits, and we'll give you guys, you know, production credit. And
So you guys got the proper publishing on that? That's what I was going to ask you, if she ever reached out.
Yeah, we got publishing.
Because I heard with J-Lo for Jenny from the Block, she never reached out to BDP.
Yeah, no. Madonna reached out
Or
to
the
us.
Beat Nuts.
Yeah, Beat Nuts, yeah.
Well, because they did Watch Out Now.
Yeah, Watch Out Now.
And then, obviously, the parts where Jada and Styles were at, South Bronx.
Right. No, but they did it proper, man. They reached out and they're like, yo, we want to use this record, and we're gonna do it right. So,
And it was within like 1 year or 2 years of
yeah, of it coming out. So, I mean, and all of that, we got like, you know, the triple platinum record. We got our credits, you know what I mean, and we got writers credit as well, and this production credit. You know what I mean? So it was proper, man. It was good.
That's it.
Can't let you finish. But the only jack when it comes to mini songs I had a problem with is that installation Cook Jams.
Oh yeah, that was
I'm
straight
saying
rip.
on
That
camera.
was straight rip.
That was a
Say
straight
word.
rip. It was a big hit record. Let the music play.
Yeah.
It was a big dance record.
Yeah.
Straight jack.
Yeah, I'm a shit on that record.
Yo, shit on it. All you want.
That was a whack move, man.
We have no friends
It
that
was
can
while
listen
Front
to
Door was trying to chart
Yeah.
on the radio. It was
Exactly.
actually charting to hip hop
Yeah.
and a dance record.
Yeah.
And they came and just fucked it all up.
and they didn't reach out.
Yeah, nah, they didn't reach out. That was fucked up. But whatever, man. Whatever, man. That's like, you know, I like old Lisa. Like, I wonder if I take you home, but yeah, that shit that they did was bullshit. So anyhow, we can move on from there, man.
Yeah, word. I'm not going to compare on people like that. That's dope that Madonna and their people reach out to you like that.
Yeah, man, they
That's
did.
really
They did.
dope.
Yeah, they did.
Because, and I'm not even going to lie, I use that record, and it's funny because me as a hip hop head, I dig in crates and I research things.
Right.
And I remember Human Nature growing up.
Right.
Never thought it was a dope record.
Right.
It wasn't until I learned as like a mid-adult that they had sampled main source for the record, and I was like, let me go back and check this shit now because I produce, right? So I'm a sampling dude.
There's a lot of people.
And I went back and I peeped it, and I'm like, yo, that is a fat record. Madonna made a fat record, and that's one thing I always wanted. If they like gave you guys your proper credit for that, and
We're good, man. We're good, man. For what they started, man. I love the fact that they even reached out and we did that whole deal with them to make that record happen. Man. So yeah, man. Much respect to Madonna, man, for that one.
that's ill, man. That's super ill. And so, unfortunately, we don't have me, the homie LOX Pro here, but we talked to you about being Toronto-born. You worked with Maestro.
Yes.
We talked about Maestro a little bit.
Yeah.
And you did the conducting things.
Yeah, I did like 90% of that album, man.
Holy shit.
You know what I mean? I did a lot of the markets on that, man. So
That's crazy. And one thing I didn't realize once I had researched you, Dave, you produced for Big Pun.
yeah, I did a song called How We Roll. Yeah.
You did How We Roll!
Yeah. Yeah, I used this Janet Jackson sample, Let's Wait a While.
Yeah.
The original shit. Yeah, so yeah.
Just jump in real quick. Sorry, it's 1 o'clock. We're gonna go to that spot. We gotta leave.
Okay, we gotta go now.
Yeah, we'll roll though.
Alright, cool.
We're pretty much done anyway. And aside from that, you produced for Shaq as well.
I did Shaq's first single with Pushnickets, What's Up Dot? Yeah, I did that.
You did What's Up, Dot?
Yeah, I did What's Up Dot.
Did you get any slack for using the fucking, they got the slack for using the What's Up, Doc sample?
We were good, man. We were all good, man. Jive is the back of the song. You know what I mean? Jive made everything happen, man.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
So I mean, through reading things, I heard that was an issue, using the,
We actually had the actual sample and then we took it out and then Chip just said, you know, this
What's Up, Doc? How we're at?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
it was all up. They didn't want us to use the
Because
actual
I have heard the original version with the sample in there.
Yeah, that's crazy. That was the original shit, man. Where we used the cartoon character.
Yeah. Did you guys
What's
press that up a couple times or something?
That's a bootleg, but that's crazy.
I've heard that version.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, I did a lot of work, man. I mean, like, you know, when the group broke up, like, I just went out there and I started working, man. Like, you know, doing a lot of shit. I did records for MC Light as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she did this record, the That As You Wanna or whatever. You know, I shouldn't say whatever. She did That As You Wanna, and I did like 3 songs on that joint. And the album before that, I worked with Ice-T. And what you do with Ice-T? I had a song called Mind Over Matter that was in the movie. So yeah. I did some work, man. I worked with 702